For 20 years, General Valerius had only one goal, the Citadel. It was the impenetrable mountain fortress of his enemy, and it had never been taken. Valerius was a man of logic, a master of strategy. He spent those 20 years creating the perfect plan. It was a masterpiece of logistics and timing. He had maps of every secret path, spies who reported the exact number of guards, and a schedule for a simultaneous, three-pronged attack that was timed to the second. His plan was a beautiful, intricate machine, and he knew every gear. His army was drilled to perfection. There was no room for error and no need for it. The night of the attack came. Everything was flawless. The first prong, Alpha, took the outer wall at midnight, exactly as planned. The second prong, Beta, secured the armory at 0:15, exactly as planned. Valerius was in his command tent, watching the signal fires. "Perfect," he whispered. "Now Gamma Prong will take the main gate." He waited. The signal for Gamma Prong never came. A panicked messenger stumbled into the tent. "General!" The Gamma route. "It's gone!" "A rockslide perhaps last night. The path is just a cliff. We can't advance." Valerius's blood ran cold. A rockslide. An act of nature. Something his spies couldn't predict, and his maps couldn't account for. His perfect plan was shattered. The entire operation depended on that third attack. Now, Alpha and Beta prongs were trapped inside the fortress, and the enemy would be waking up. His colonels stared at him, their faces pale. "Sir, what's the new plan?" Valerius looked at his beautiful, complex maps. They were useless. All his years of planning, all his schedules and calculations, gone. He had planned for every enemy action, but not for the mountain itself. For a full minute, Valerius was paralyzed by the failure. His mind was a fortress of logic, and its walls had just collapsed. Then a young scout, a boy named Lycan, whom Valerius barely knew, spoke up, his voice trembling. "Sir, the rockslide." It didn't just destroy the path. It opened something else. "What are you talking about, boy?" Valerius snapped. "The aqueduct, sir," Lycan said, stepping forward. "The old dry one that runs under the Citadel. The one your spies said was a dead end, filled with stone." The rockslide shattered the seal. "I can hear water." Or wind. "Moving inside it." Valerius stared at him. The aqueduct. It was on his maps, but marked useless. It was a flaw, an imperfection, so his plan had ignored it. He had no time. He had no other options. His perfect logical plan was dead. All he had left was this one wild, unpredictable chance. He looked at the scout. "You're sure?" "No, sir," Lycan said honestly. "But it's the only thing that's not on your map." Valerius made the first decision of his life that wasn't based on a calculation. He grabbed his sword. "Forget the plan," he roared. "All men with me. We're going under the mountain." He left his command tent, his maps, and his 20 years of planning behind. He led a small, desperate force into the black, rushing darkness of the aqueduct, not knowing if it led to victory or a watery grave. They waded through chest-deep, freezing water. They crawled through spaces so tight they had to abandon their armor. It was chaotic, terrifying, and the complete opposite of his plan. 2 hours later, they burst out of a grate directly into the central courtyard of the Citadel, behind the main enemy force that was busy fighting Alpha and Beta prongs at the gates. The battle was short and decisive. The enemy, attacked from within by their own general, was thrown into chaos. By dawn, the impenetrable Citadel was his. Valerius stood on the highest tower, his flawless armor now dented and caked in mud. His colonels found him looking at the sunrise. "General," his second-in-command said, awestruck. It was not the plan. But it was genius. Valerius shook his head, looking at his muddy hands. "The plan was perfect," he said, "and it would have failed. We didn't win because of my plan. We won because the mountain gave us a chance and we were desperate enough to take it. We won because we went beyond the perfect plan.